Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to give a minute for the last participants to join, and then we will start. We're going to start quite promptly so that we keep within the time limit. So I'll just give a minute for everybody to join. To everybody that's online already, there will be a Q&A session at the end. So please hold your questions until the end. Let's see if we can start at 1 minute past 10. Right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. To all our customers, prospective customers, colleagues, everybody, welcome. Especially to the South Africans that are joining. Thank you very much for taking time out of the office to be at home and join this webinar for us. We really appreciate it. So let's get started. Today, we're going to discuss one of our products called CM Sign. Let me start with the presentation. There we go. Okay, so we're going to look a bit at the future of digital communications. Something that CM has been promoting and advocating for businesses over the past couple of months, I'd say about a year, is mobile channels for a complete customer solution. And many customers have started joining this revolution, which is conversational commerce. What we've seen during the current lockdown or COVID-19 pandemic is that more and more customers join on a mobile customer journey so that their employees can successfully conclude business while working remotely, and customers can get continued support from businesses while call centers remain closed. I think some of this is due to employees having laptops and computers at home, being able to log into systems and being able to do business, whereas a lot of customers don't have those facilities at home. Many people do have a smartphone and are able to receive messages, documents on email, etc. But they don't have printers and scanners and these kind of things to, sign contracts and complete documents. So this is a bit about what we're going to show you today. This is a 3-part webinar series. So today we're going to look at CM Sign, which is our electronic signing product. And obviously I'm the presenter, Saki Els, for those who don't know me. Then my colleague Stuart will be presenting on CM pages and SMS campaigns next week. And then lastly, I will do a combined presentation about CM Sign, CM pages, and then WhatsApp for Business for a full customer journey. So I hope that all of you will join us for the entire series. So what we'll be looking at today is we're going to do a quick introduction about who CM is and what we do. We're going to look at what is electronic signing. We're going to look at the potential impact on your business. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. Then we're going to look at the cost. And as I said at the beginning, at the end, we'll have a Q&A session. So please hold your questions until the end. My co-host, Stuart, will also look out for questions as we go along, but we will only answer them at the end. Right. So who is CM.com? CM.com is a CPaaS organization, which stands for Communication Platform as a Service. We started in 1999 as Club Message with Jeroen and Hilbert. Hilbert is and was a DJ, and he used to host events at clubs. And what they started to do is SMS club goes where they were traveling. Clubs caught on to this and they started asking for the service. Then this grew into a festival service. And so it grew into a full-on global SMS business. We have 16 offices globally, 335 employees, and we're continually expanding. Our GM, Hodney, had a presentation earlier last week, where he spoke about our expansions. And even though COVID-19 has hampered that a bit, we still endeavored to open up more offices this year. So as I said, we are no longer just an SMS business. CM has lots of products, and we are known as a CPaaS business. And basically what we do is we go around the world and we partner up with essential services and channels, and we put those together for our employees, for our customers to connect to, so that they can connect to their customers. These are products such as Google Reserve, Google RCS, WhatsApp for Business, Apple Business Chat, and many more. So yeah, all of these services into one platform, and then our customers can connect to the channels which they think are relevant for their customers and continue on a seamless customer journey. If you look here, there's a quick look at where the CM offices are. As you can see, our head office is still in Breda in the Netherlands. We have the majority of our offices still in Europe. We have 2 offices in South Africa, Johannesburg and Cape Town. And the most recent offices we've added is in the US and in Singapore. And like I said, we still endeavor to open up a couple more offices this year. We feel the demand for mobile solutions globally is higher than ever. So we endeavor to be available where our customers need us and support them in the best way we can. So here's a quick look on what a CPaaS organization looks like. So we've got, as part of the CPaaS solutions, we've got SMS, RCS, email, WhatsApp for Business, Viber, WeChat, Apple Business Chat, etc. We also have voice products through our global or international SIP trunk. The payment section, some of our international colleagues and customers would know that payments are available elsewhere. In South Africa, this is not available yet, but we are working on getting that ready for South Africa. And then we have other supplementary products such as customer data, where you can collect, store, and manage your customer data in a meaningful way. And then we also have specialized solutions, which are basically solutions we cater for as and when needed. Great. So what is electronic signing? It's not just the ability to sign a document digitally. There's a big difference between being able to sign a document digitally and being able to manage the whole process. If you think about it this way, most people can start a car. Most people can drive a car. It doesn't necessarily mean that they own the car, that they bought the car and they finance it and have insurance. So electronic signing, therefore, is the ability to be able to start and drive a car. Digital signing. Electronic signing and the product enables you to be in control of the process from creating the document up until the point where it comes back as a signed document. So it's the full process of being able to buy a car, drive the car, service the car, and then sell the car at the end of the day. If you can think of that as the analogy for the difference between electronic, digital signing and electronic signing. So here we can look at some traditional methods that we call local signing versus what remote signing offers. So local signing in the traditional sense, from experience, I've seen this before where employees have to print out contracts. They have to take them physically to a customer to be signed, pen on paper. They then need to drive back to an office, submit that to a legal department to review, and then it needs to be signed by a manager or CEO or somebody of the like, and then filed in some or stored in some way. More recently, we started using PDF and USB drives to send documents, which can be signed with a digital signature, but again, the creator doesn't have the full control of the document. And also, if a document is sent by PDF on email, it's printed out and given to somebody to sign. You, as the creator of the document or initiator of the process, really don't know what happened to that document from when it's printed up till when you get it back. You trust that it's been signed by the correct person. More recently, we've noticed with COVID-19 lockdown that this has become a real problem. You want to still continue to do business, but your customer doesn't necessarily have the ability to print and scan documents at home. So you can send them a contract, they can agree to the terms, but they can't physically sign the contract and send it back, which I think is a big hamper for businesses who have a process where you need a pen on paper signature to be able to conclude a deal and start invoicing. What remote CM signing offers is the complete end-to-end control over the document or dossier. So you have the ability to upload the document, you have the ability to send it to the participant that needs to sign it, and they can basically sign it on any smart device, whether it be a computer, an iPad or tablet, or their phone for that matter, as long as they have internet connectivity. So this is statistics on a study done in Europe on how long it takes to have a contract signed on average. This relates in South Africa more or less to about plus minus 8 days for a paper contract to be created, sent, signed, and sent back, whereas 80% of digital documents are signed usually within the same business day. We can see here that on CM Sign versus Post, you have an average of 12 days versus 9 hours. And then via the API, you have 7.5 days versus 2 minutes for a document to be signed. If you have a look at the statistic quickly this is basically research done on worker productivity. They did a global survey of 1,200 respondents, and this was done in UK, France, Germany, Australia, and Japan. And basically what the statistics tells us is from managing approvals and obtaining signatures, which takes about 2.5 hours, to creating actual documents, which takes about 10 hours. An employee spends an average of about 6+ hours on a customer to get a document created, signed, and submitted for a deal to be concluded, which is quite a long time if you consider that it can be done much faster using electronic signatures. A big question, especially in South Africa, is are electronic signatures accepted? So there's a big misconception about what makes a contract a valid contract in South Africa. A signature is not required on a piece of paper to make a contract valid. South Africa is still a bit old school, where verbal agreements are still accepted as a legal and binding contract. The problem with verbal agreements is that they are difficult to prove. Therefore, contracts can be signed pen to paper as an actual document to show that there's agreement between two parties. So the signature is more of a showing that there is agreement between two parties as opposed to making a contract valid. There are still some organizations within South Africa that don't accept digital signatures, such as the courts in some cases. If you're doing a property transfer or if you're doing a deceased estate, something like that, you do need a physical signature on a piece of paper. What we recommend is for your own business that you speak to your legal department and maybe get a bit of insight from them on firstly, business process, what business would accept as a valid and binding contract. And then secondly, from a legal perspective for your industry, what would be accepted as a valid contract. Right. So now to the fun part. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. So just a bit of information before we go on to the demo about what I'm going to show you. We're going to do a demonstration on a fictitious company we've created called Max Corp Insurance. And basically the journey that I've designed is I'm going to send a contract to a customer that we've had a chat before, we've had a discussion, we're in agreement, and I've created a contract. He then needs to complete some information and sign the contract. Our legal department then needs to approve the contract, not sign, but just approve. And then our company CEO is going to sign the contract, and that would complete the customer journey from a contract perspective. Also, what I need to mention, what I'm not able to demonstrate, is that CM Sign is available with API integration. You can also send in bulk, so you don't have to send a single contract. You can send in bulk. If you think about companies that need to do renewals annually, so they need their contract renewed, you can set a specific date, upload all your contracts that need to be reviewed for that date and send them out in bulk to all those customers. And then also you have the ability to add a company seal to a document so that when the signature comes back and when the email is displayed, which you'll see in a second, there will be a company logo. Currently it's on our company logo as CM, but you can change that to whatever company seal fits your organization. Then lastly, there is a one-time PIN two-factor authentication capability. So that means when the document is sent to the customer or any person that needs to sign that document for that matter, they get an SMS one-time PIN. They need to enter the one-time PIN on the CM Sign interface before they're able to sign the document. And that's basically just another way where you can secure the authenticity of your document as you go along. All right, so let's quickly move on to the demonstration. If you'll just give me a second. There we go. Right, so I'm now logged into my Max Corp CM dashboard. And this is a typical dashboard customers would see when they log into the platform. You can see your name displayed here saying, hi, Isak. You have your information about your organization here. The channels that you are connected to is SMS, WhatsApp, RCS, Apple Business Chat, and then the voice platform, the CM voice platform. So at the top right here, you can see some information about your organization and about a couple of menu options. And then the menu for all the applications you have available in your, sorry, I'm just seeing a couple of questions come in. Please hold questions until the end. I will definitely answer them at the end. Sorry, I see a couple of participants are raising hands. Let me just see if I can figure out what that's about. Okay, it's not visible. Let's try that again. Right, can everybody see this? Okay, good. Everybody can see, we can carry on. Right. Okay, so let me start again. Your name is displayed over here, organizational information over here. The channels you have available, you can see here. So they've got available SMS, WhatsApp, RCS, Apple Business Chat, and they're connected to the international SIP trunk. Then to the top right here, you can see your profile and some information about your business and some options you have available. And then here we have all the available apps this customer has. So they are using our address book function, SMS campaigns, customer contact with WhatsApp for business, email campaigns, etc. And then here we have CM Sign, which we are interested in today. All of our applications follow the same look and feel. So you'll have your options and elements on the left-hand side. You'll have an overview of past campaigns or documents here in the overview. And then to add a new document, you simply click on the blue button with the white plus. So here we are, we're going to create a dossier. To select a document, you simply click over here. The acceptable formats is Word and PDF. You simply select the document that you want to use. You click open and the document will display here in your edit bar. All of the functions are drag and drop, which I will start demonstrating in a minute. To add participants or invitees, I just want to see what this is. Good. Okay. So sorry. Just want to make sure everybody can still see. To add participants or invitees, you click add. If you have their name saved, like I do, their credentials will pop up and their email address as well. So I've got my customer here, David. There's his email address. Here's the verification that I spoke of. So IDEN and IBAN is not available in South Africa, but you can use number verification, which is the one-time PIN. If you want to save to an address, which I've already done, you just simply tick that box there. I'm going to click save. So here we have our elements on the left-hand side, which we can now add to our document. So firstly, I see that we have some information we need here. So I'm going to add a text box here for the customer. Cool thing about these text boxes is you can make them as long and as short and as wide as you need to. So it's not a one size fits all. You can manipulate these boxes to fit your document precisely. So that is exactly what I'm going to do here. And then address needs to go over there. You can obviously pre-populate as much information as you want on the document before sending it. But obviously for demonstration purposes, I've not done that. So next we need to add initials to the bottom of the document. So I'm going to drag and drop initials. It's going to ask me, where do you want to start your initials? I want to start on page 1, but I have a signature on page 4, so I don't want one on page 4. I only want it to go to page 3. So I'm going to click select. Then I'm going to place my initial here, bottom left, and I'm going to make it a bit smaller so I can fit another one next to it. So there we go. We're going to page 4 where we need to sign. Let me just close this application. There we go. So here we need to add the date. You do not need to enter the date. The date will automatically populate on the date the document is signed. Then we're going to add some text over here where he needs to complete his name. And then I want him to sign over here. Great, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to add our next participant, which is Corey. He's going to be our legal advisor. And Corey needs to simply approve the document so he doesn't have to sign. I'm only going to say he needs to review only. I'm going to click Save. Since Corey doesn't need to have any credentials on the document, I'm going to click Add for the last person on our process, and that is going to be James. And James is our company CEO, and he's the last guy that needs to sign, so he's going to be position 3. There we go. I think I made a mistake with Corey being position 2. I just want to make sure that I've got that correct. Yes, position 2, save. There we go. So I've got all my participants here. I already had him as position 2. Okay. So there we go. David is position 1, Corey is position 2, and James is position 3. So James merely needs to initial the document from page 1 to 3. Let's put him right here next to David. Make a box a bit smaller. Maybe not that small. There we go. And then he needs to sign as well on the last page. So he's going to date over here. Then he's going to sign at the bottom. And that's it. Everybody's on. So now you can set a reminder from 1 to 4 weeks. So that means if the agreement hasn't been signed within that time, a reminder will be sent to the person that is next in line to sign the document, so position 1, 2, or 3. You can then add people to the chain to be CC'd. So because I've created the document, I'm automatically CC'd because I need to receive the information back. If I'm happy with everybody's credentials and all their invitees, I'm going to click create. That's funny. Always on a demonstration, right? Oh, there we go. So it wasn't position 2. There we go. Position 1, position 2, position 3. That's a great thing about demonstrations. When things go wrong, you can always show how you can fix it. Right. So on we go. You can now add a personal message. So I'm going to say, dear customer, please sign. Thank you. Then Corey, I'm going to say, hi, legal. Please sign, please approve. Thanks. And then I'm going to say, hi, CEO. Please sign. Thanks. And there we go. You don't have to create these documents from scratch every time. You can save it as a template as well, so you can just manipulate the fields that you want. So you don't have to upload and create a whole document every time. You can save a template. And then when you're happy with the document, you can just click send. Once the document's been sent successfully, this little green pop-up will tell you that it's been sent. And then as you've seen, if there's an error, the little red box will pop up and tell you that you've done something wrong. So let's go have a look at the flow in the email. So here we have our customer's email inbox. And here we can see the document has been received. As I mentioned, you can see here's a company logo to verify where the document came from. You can change this logo to your own organization so that it reflects your business and then what you want customers to see. There's my little personal message that I sent him, and I'm going to click sign document. We're now logging into CM Sign. This little box here that says agree with terms and conditions is pre-ticked. If you want to read, you can obviously click on the little URL there and you can read the terms and conditions. If you do not agree, you cannot sign the document. So if you untick the box, you will not be able to sign the document. If you want to decline the document, you simply click decline. Then a little text box pops up and you can tell the creator why you are declining the document and you do not want to sign. But if you're happy with everything, you simply click start. And then you start sharing, start completing the information. So I'm going to say David, first name. Then we're going to surname. I think I got that wrong. There we go. Address is number 1 street, Peopletown, city 1000. There we go. Great. With initials, I've already selected my preference because I often sign documents. So when I click on initial, I've obviously read all the information. If I click initial, it just puts my preference in as a feature that you don't have to select your initials every time. You can just click and it adds your initials to the relevant section. Now we have to complete a name here again. Great. And then we're going to sign. So you can either use your mouse trackpad or finger to make a little signature here, David, or you can use one of the pre-selected for the name, or you can choose an existing signature that you have on PDF or image and upload it. So I like to do a little scribble here for David that looks exactly like David. And then you can also, like I've did with my initials, you can click remember, and then every time you sign a document, it will then select your preference automatically. So we're going to click OK. So now that we're happy with everything, you can see the submit button is available. I'm going to click submit, and then that means the document is signed by the customer. Success. Fantastic. Success is always great. Now we're going to move on to our next person, which is the legal department, and they should receive the document. There we go. Receive now. So here's my message again that says, please approve. They're going to click sign document. They agree to the terms and conditions, and because they're only an approval function, they're not going to sign anything. They can simply decline or approve. So I'm going to hit approve. It will tell me that by approving that you agree to the document and all parties signed, etc. And then I'm going to click submit. Success once again. Next, as you can see at the bottom here, as it pops up, me as the document creator is notified as the process goes along that the customer signed the agreement, that legal has approved it, and then finally our CEO has signed the documents as well. So next, let's go to our CEO's inbox. We can see here's the document for him to sign. Hi, CEO, please sign. And he's such a nice guy. He's going to say, fantastic, I'll someone sign it now. Great. So basically the same process as we had for the customer. We're going to click start. We're going to initial. Again, my preference is in for the initials. And then I'm going to make a little signature here for James Hedgefield. That looks exactly like I wanted to. Fantastic. And then when I'm happy, I can click submit. Happy and submit. Great. Document created. Now, the last thing I want to show you is that part of the process is that every person that was a participant in the document will receive a signed copy, as you can see here. So there's a signed copy for the customer with everybody's signature in. And then also you get a little seal next to each signature that you can change to your company logo as well. And this is basically to authenticate the signature that it was actually signed and it is approved by the business. Then I want to show you quickly my inbox. As the creator of the document, I also, like you can see, get all the information, but most importantly, I get the audit report as well. And what the audit report does is it tells you, it gives you a dossier ID so that you can track the exact document. It gives you all the information about the document. It tells you who the owner is, who was invited, who approved it, and who signed it. And then here's all the events cataloged. I just want to make sure I haven't, everybody can still see this. Okay. Sorry. Okay, cool. Here you can see all the events. So the document was created with dates and times, viewed, signed, approved, etc., etc. So the audit trail comes to you as the creator of the document, and it's also available on CM Sign. Can't see, screen not showing. Okay, sorry. Let me try that again. Apologies for that. Let's see if you can see this now. Please tell me if you can't see. Okay, cool. So everybody can see that now. Great. So let me just go back to the top. Here's your dossier information. So there's a document ID, the name, the date, the status. So it's obviously it's been completed, and all the information relevant to your document. You can see here who created the document was me. Then you can see who signed the document as the customer, who approved it. Here's Corey's details, he approved it, and then James signed it as well. Then at the end here, you can see all the document events. So when it was created, when it was viewed, when it was signed, and when it was approved, with dates and times next to each, and a bit of a description about what happened. Okay, so let me just go back to the actual CM sign. I'm just going to make sure that you can see this first. Okay, everybody should see this. So now we're back to where we started, where we ended. So I'm just gonna, sorry, I see another hand raised. Let me just share again. I see people can't see this. Share. Okay, should be visible now. I'm just going to go back to CM sign quickly. Here we go. And here's the document that we've created. You can see the little green tick shows that it's been completed. The red one means that it has been declined. And then the orange one with the little clock on it shows that it's still in process. So from here also, you can get information about your document. So that would be the audit report. You can see the actual document and you can download all the information in PDF. You can also delete the document if you really want to. Okay. And that concludes the demonstration. Let me just go back to the presentation part of things. There we go. I'm sure everybody can see this now. Let me just double check. Sorry about this. I just want to make sure everybody can see. As you can tell, I'm quite an expert when it comes to Zoom. Okay, great. We can see. Fantastic. Okay. So now lastly, we come to the cost. So as part of the CM Together campaign, we are offering CM Pages and CM Sign free of charge up until the 1st of July. Why do we do this? The purpose of CM Sign is to support businesses in getting documents signed and getting business done so that you can start a deal and start invoicing a customer and continue to do business. And we feel that these products are more relevant than ever during the current COVID-19 situation where people are working remotely. Thus, as a sign of goodwill, CM has decided to give these products away for free up until the 1st of July. What happens after the 1st? Well, please get in contact with me and Stuart. I will put our information in the chat where you can contact us, and then we can discuss pricing going forward from there on. Great. And that concludes the actual presentation. So now time for questions. Sorry, I see we ran about over the time a little bit, but let's go to the questions quickly and see what we can see. Is it being recorded? Yes, it is being recorded. Good, got that. Okay, so any questions, please? Let me just go look here in the other part of the chat to see if there's any questions. There's one new message here. Okay, Lisa just responded. The recording will be sent out today as well. So it is being recorded, yes, and the recording will be sent out today. Questions? Just going to give a few more seconds. So what I'll do is, so the presentation is concluded. So I'd like to thank everybody very much for joining. And once again, please stay safe, stay indoors, wash your hands, etc. I'll stay online for 5 more minutes in the webinar if there's any more questions that I need to field. But that concludes the webinar. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, so it seems there's no more questions. I'm going to stop the recording and get offline. Once again, to anybody that's still here, thank you very much for joining. We hope to speak to you soon.